What up, you guys? Welcome back to Feral Publications YouTube channel, daily uploads to open up my own shop. And today I got the orders put together to ship out. Definitely dug what I threw down in the envelopes. And then I felt very refreshed. I had been feeling really tired as of late, but there was just something about sitting down and reading Quirks issue 16 that really refreshed me. It gave me my second win for sure. How refreshing it was for me to read Quirks issue 16 yesterday. I'm not going to say I suffer from burnout, but I definitely know that currently I'm running myself real thin. I'm taking care of a lot, doing a lot, and the momentum is growing, so I definitely don't want to lose a step. I have been tired, but when I saw that zine from Ed, I definitely had my energy shoot up. Because again, I like the way he creates, and I sat down and read it in one sitting, and it wasn't really planned that I was going to read it on the camera, but as I opened it, I guess just my enthusiasm for the zines that he makes got the better of me, and it ended up being like a 20-something minute video that I ended up editing down to what, if you guys saw that video yesterday, you know, whatever that time is, you know. But I was reading it, and I just been chewing it over all day, like how good it was and how refreshing, and how it gave me like my second wind of like, oh, this is why I do this. This is why I care about this stuff. And I was talking to my wife about the sideshow story that was in that zine. And I found that story to just be so perfect, right? Like this idea of like the circus, the carnival, this like party, right? You know, just joy and happiness and indulgence kind of thing. And then boom, like that, it goes bad. And I didn't even think about it yesterday, but as I've been chewing over and thinking and ruminating over this story, like the first people that he's gonna talk to are his co-workers, his community, right? And that dynamic of like, how do they talk to him? And then after that, it's like his loved ones and everything. And then after that, it's his plea to his creator, right? Whether or not he was a good person, or whatever sins he thinks he's committed, or whatever wrongs he wants to right before he leaves. And then the conclusion being nothing, right? Like there's no conclusion. They don't even get to see him die, or whether he dies, or what happens next. That's not the point of it. And that's, I think, what I find so refreshing about zines and why I like them so much. And that story kind of reflects that. And that's why I was mentioning the story again. It's this human experience. The conclusion is not what matters, right? Like what they try to do to save him and all this. That's not the point of it. The point of it is, before you die, which all humans are going to die, right? Before we die, like, what is your standing with your community, right? What are your loved ones going to say? And ultimately, did you pay for whatever wrongs you've done, right? Or did you pay any good forward? And then what happens, we don't know. But that's the thing about like zines, because I've been reading a lot of like textbooks, a lot of more technical, like jargon heavy stuff, like even like the indie publishing is one of those books, right? Like very jargon heavy and technical stuff. I've been reading a lot of like polished stuff, right? Like finished work that's took a lot of time. But within that polishing, you lose some of the rawness that I think really comes through in like the DIY homemade zines. And that's not to say there's no polish on this, right? Like you can tell when someone's put time and effort and thought. But there's just so much more human in a zine than there is. I guess the perfect way of saying it is like, I know a lot of people like the way Quentin Tarantino writes dialogue. They say it's really rhythmic and very poetic, and that he tries to not necessarily capture the way we speak, but capture the way we could speak, I think is the way I heard it. But I actually like watching the mechanisms of the human experience. I like listening and hearing. I like character driven stories, right? Like the character matters just as much as the plot. Like, that's cool that there was a great action scene, but like, what was the character thinking? What was he feeling in those moments, right? What did she feel like she had to overcome, and what did she feel like was holding her back? I think a lot of times those points matter more to me, and that human touch contextualizes it for me and makes it matter to me as a human. And I think that Zines capture that so well, and that's why like yesterday's Quirks reading, just like, it was refreshing, man. Like I woke up feeling like, man, like, again, ruminating over it, thinking over it, chewing over it, just thinking about even missed opportunities, or even the Kodak story about how things are ultimately going out of vogue and things will be phased out, right? I think of like dual shade in that sense of like, for a lot of cartoonists that grew up with the Ninja Turtles, I always wondered how they did it. When I got older and I heard about dual shade, I was like, I want to try dual shade, and it's like, oh, but it could cause cancer. It's like, it became obsolete. We don't have it no more. And it's like, okay, and if you do want it, I think it's like $100 a page or something. All these things is about the human experience, right? Even the Gumby story, that was a human experience, a human interaction. It had very little to do with like an overarching story theme, right? It wasn't polished. It wasn't meant to change your perception on anything. It was like, this human interaction, this human experience occurred. Even missed opportunities, like, he doesn't tell you like, so make sure you don't miss opportunities, and make sure, he just tells you this situation that occurred, his feelings inside of that situation, and then ultimately just leaves you be with that. And I'm sure like people will take it differently, but like, humans looking at the same human experience, a lot of times I think will bring back to mind the idea of like, life is not infinite, so you need to make it matter, right? The things you enjoy in life are not infinite, right? So like, enjoy them while you have them. And like, all these things, like, again, like, there's something so human about zines that like, they're never gonna go anywhere. Even like the handwriting that's in there, right? Like all this looks handwritten to me. I don't know if it is, or if that's just what Ed was trying to make it look like, handwritten, but I like the way that looks, and it gives it just more of a human touch. Yeah, man, I definitely dug the zine, and I was happy to have it and read it. And again, it gave me my second win, so I appreciate it a lot. But alright, you guys, that's all I got for you guys. Just another rant about the power of zines, the power of tapping into the human experience, the power of building community through those like universal human experiences. Powerful shit, man. But alright, you guys, as always, please like, share, subscribe, and I do this daily, so I'll be back tomorrow. Lates.